Consider this your trigger warning. The following program is strictly satire and is not meant to be taken seriously. So don't get all butthurt, you liberal snowflakes, just because we skewer your sacred cows and expose all your lies and hypocrisy. Truth hurts, and so does satire. So grab a drink, pull up a chair, and enjoy the show.
I think ever since you've come into office, things are really looking up. You know, gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything. No, it really has been a tough first year for you, Mr. President. Gas is up, gas is up, gas is up, everything. Rent is up, everything, everything, everything. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, gas is up, rent is up, food is up.
That's right. Gas is up, rent is up, food is up, everything is up. Welcome back, folks. It is a special edition of, well, Free for All Friday on Thursday. The reason is I've got a special announcement. I'll be leaving. That's right, leaving where I'm at tomorrow. I am going to go to the great state of Georgia. I'm heading over there for a very special reason. The question, why, John? What could possibly be in Georgia that you need to go see? Well, I'm going to go visit one of my sons. I just think that's fucking great. I haven't seen him in 3 years since I left California for the RMZ. It has been a long time, and I really can't wait to see him. So we're going to do our Free for All Friday tonight. Tomorrow, I am not going to do a 0 Dark 30. Tomorrow, I'm going to do an 8:30 in the morning, and then I'll do some kind of news checkup with you guys mid-afternoon. It won't be live, though. Or maybe it will. I got to tell you, folks, it has been one hell of a week. The shit has hit the fan. We're all over the place. All over the place on the board. Rent is up. Food is up. Gas is up. The IQ of the Democrat Party is plummeting, while their threats of violence and use of government force is ever increasing. Their corruption, their theft, their graft, their bribery, their extortion is more transparent than ever as facts come out, folks. Facts, well, they keep coming out. Woo! And for some reason, Orlando was saying he didn't get the link today, but we got other people. We got the link out there. What the heck? You know, I want to say thanks to Mr. Tim, Mr. T. I did just do the new Free for All Friday. I hope you like that one. I saw that and thought, oh man, I can't wait. And then this surprise last second trip came up to go to Georgia. It's going to take quite a drive to get over there, but it'll be worth it. Good golly, folks. I'm going to be out on the highway system, the interstate system. I'm going to drive through the state of Georgia, where Antifa was attacking police and troops and everyone else. Let me turn off this beeps. Man, my day never ends, folks. I love you all, but the day, you got to give me a break. It's all good stuff. It really is. It really is good stuff. We have nothing but trouble, though. I've got a huge roster of shit to talk about. Are you prepared? Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. If you're not on this channel, the R Syndicate, I don't think you're getting the full picture. I really don't. I don't think that you're seeing what's going on. I think that we're all being played. I think the media is playing us. I think the politicians are playing us. I think the politicians are actually playing the fool and screwing themselves. I don't think they realize that, folks, they're on the menu every bit as much as you and I are. They probably think that, oh, they're going to do great as this great reset happens. Oh, it's still happening, folks. And even though it hasn't been in the news as of lately because, well, There's a huge loss of interest in the war on Ukraine, or I'm sorry, the war on Russia on Ukraine. It is actually, folks, and I wasn't teasing, it is the war on Ukraine. Who is losing? Ukraine. Who is dying? The Ukrainian people. Who is paying for this? Well, the Ukrainian people with blood and Americans with tax dollars. Who is the war on? It's on the people of this planet. Unbelievable what is happening. I hope you're getting your questions into Uman. We're going to have one hell of a show. And since it is, well, a special edition of Free for All Friday on Thursday, we're going to mix it up. We're going to mix it up. I'm going to do a couple questions, statements, comments, predictions, and then you. So get your questions in now. Uman will pick through, see what he wants to talk about, see what he wants to throw at me for curveball, etc. I'll make it entertaining. I'll make you famous. We have a lot to talk about. So I think I'll step out first. I'm going to step out first. Did you know that Mitch McConnell fell? That Mitch McConnell, Leader McConnell, leader my ass. He's a leader of the dunderheads. Mitch McConnell fell at a formerly Trump hotel. It's Trump's fault. I mean, why is that even part of the story? McConnell falls at a hotel that was formerly owned by Trump. Why is that in the fucking headline? Makes zero sense. Still, you know, they got to somehow throw Trump into this. But I'm looking past this. Now, folks, Senator Mitch McConnell, Turtles McConnell, has been hospitalized ever since he took a fall at a former Trump hotel. They're not giving any information out, folks. Senator Schumer could not get a hold of Senator McConnell. Silence. They're not telling us what's wrong with him. He's been hospitalized after a fall. What caused the fall? You see, now I start to ask the questions. What caused this fall? Was it caused by the Jim Jones juice? Was Leader McConnell just basically leading himself and everyone else to slaughter with his support of that shit? Did Turtles McConnell have a stroke like Senator Festerman did? Is Mitch now showering with Senator Festerman incognito? Where is Senator McConnell? Is he hiding in a frickin' bunker somewhere? All we can do is speculate. And so I speculated across the board there. I put him in the shower with Festerman, and I gave him the Jim Jones juice and blamed Trump for it all. It's that kind of a free-for-all Friday, folks. I feel like, I could fist fight or fuck, and since there's no fucking, I'm gonna just start throwing dukes at everybody I can. And this is incredible, right? Michael Schellenberger, right, went to Congress today. If you don't know who Schellenberger is, you can look him up on the internet. He's very famous. And he said this, quote, "I never thought that in my own country that freedom of speech would be threatened in this way. It is unfucking believable. I agree. I never thought it would be a question whether or not I can say whatever the hell I want, wherever the hell I want, whenever, wherever, however, to whomever. It's America." And you used to be told, well, if you don't like it, leave, walk away. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen, right? What's the matter? You're going to start crying because someone, so you're supposed to say sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And we've gone from that. Names, you don't even have to call a snowflake a name. You just have to use the fucking wrong pronoun to describe their pretend sex, their pretend gender, their pretend genital. And they start crying like a bunch of pussies. Communist folks are now in charge. Communists are taking over the bureaucracy. Communists are taking over Washington, D.C. Communists are taking over the blue states. And once they have power, folks, that's when they start silencing people. So, Michael Schellenberger, apparently didn't realize how far down the path to communism we've made it. And I want you to remember, folks, they try and make a difference, a distinction between socialism and communism. Well, the father of communism, Karl Marx, had no distinction at all. They were two names for the same thing. So for them to say, oh, I'm a socialist, well, that means you're a communist, period. You know, and the only difference I could ever make is to say that, well, all a communist is a socialist in a big hurry. Communists are the most violent. Communists are the most radical of all socialists, willing to kill everyone else, violate their rights, steal their property, because, folks, in communism and socialism, all it takes is the government to tell you to do something. And if you don't do it, then you've committed a crime. And they have every right to arrest you, steal your property, even murder you, because that's what socialists think. The government is all power. The government is your master. In fact, the government's your God, and you will obey. It doesn't go God, people who make the Constitution, who makes the government. They go right to, well, government is God, and the people have to do as they're told. That's why when you look at communism and socialism, they're at the very top, and people are below. Communism, socialism puts themselves at the very top, and they completely cut out God altogether. They are a godless bunch of freaks. Someone want to argue with me about whether or not they're freaks? I don't think any of you do. I'm sure out there and over that way and up in DC, I'm sure they're all more than willing to argue with me, but they are a bunch of freaks. Anyone who could defend abortion, defend drag queens raising children on their sick, demented, twisted ideas, Democrats saying that men can have babies, Democrats saying that men who chop off their genitals, or at least say they think about it, right, should play sports with girls and be considered girls. Yeah, there's some big, big, big problems with these freaks. They've got no problem with an open border and not testing any of them for disease, but they got a big problem with someone who's very healthy coming here to play tennis. That's how fucked up these people are, folks. That's how fucked up they all are. I mean, I'm going to give you an example. These people are absolute freaks. In California, Governor Newsom is now telling the state of California, you're no longer going to do any business with Walgreens Corporation. They're not going to renew a $55 million contract with Walgreens because Walgreens has agreed to obey the law and not sell abortion pills in some states, because Walgreens refuses to become a criminal corporate institution in another fucking state. They won't allow them to do business with the California government. That's how fucking stupid they are. Gavin even tweeted it. California won't be doing business with Walgreens or any company that cowers to the extremists and puts women's lives at risk. We're done, he says. Companies that cower to extremists. Does that sound like every woke fucking corporation that cowers to Black Lives Matter, that cowers to the Democrat Party, that cowers to wokeism? Fucking Gavin. Folks, turn him loose. Someone give him a free ride down to Compton. Give him a free ride to the South Side Chicago. Give him a free ride, folks, to the deep, dark holes of New York City. Kick his dumb ass out of the van and see who cowers. What a fucking pussy. I mean, I'm saying if I went to those places, I wouldn't be happy about it. I don't know if I would cower, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Wouldn't be happy if you dropped me off on the surface of the sun. I wouldn't be happy, right, if you put me in a time machine and shot me back to communist Russia in the 1920s. I wouldn't be happy. But cowering? This fucking Gavin is going to tell people to cower? Oh, man. And also put women's lives at risk by denying them a birth control abortion pill. It's not a birth control, it's just strictly abortion. How is denying someone an abortion pill putting their life at risk? Those pills put babies' lives at risk, and it kills them every single time. And I'm sure there are medical complications that arise too as a result of these abortion pills. But that's not how Gavin, the left-wing Democrat socialist freak, sees it. No, they don't see it that way. They see denying them an abortion as the risk, not to mention all the psychological risk, psychological damage, psychological trauma caused by abortions and abortion pills. These are some sick fuckers. Hey, it is, right? The Thursday edition of the Friday Free for All. Ooh, man, it's one of our listeners' turns. It's and it's Orlando. He did find his way in good. He says, people should look into the Agenda 2030 document under the Land Development Environmental Protection Agency for its policies regarding contaminated land. Those policies allow the government to seize those lands. So what else can and will they do? Well, I'll tell you what, Orlando, we're at a crossroads with liberty, freedom, Constitution, and restrained government. We're at a crossroads. Agenda 2030 makes it very clear. They want people out of the country and they want people into the cities. They want people to give up their property. They want people to give up their rights. They want government to proclaim itself the ultimate authority. And so they pass these laws and they create these rules and say, well, if it's contaminated, therefore the Environmental Protection Agency has complete and total jurisdiction and you no longer have any rights. So could that train wreck in East Palestine, Ohio, could that be a test run to find out, hey, could it be a test run to find out, can they kick Americans off their property and see what those Americans do? Can they say that all that toxic waste that was, caused to spill everywhere, catch fire, and contaminate all kinds of property, could they say, get off that property? We're the government. We now own it because it's contaminated. Could this be a beta test to see if Americans will go, okay, sorry? Or will Americans say, you know what, fuck you. I'm not leaving my property, even though you contaminated it with your inaction and your stupid regulations. Again, I mean, if the government could do anything smart, would it be to tell train companies you're not allowed to tow container cars full of chemicals that if it were to wreck and mix, cause a huge toxic fucking explosion? I wonder. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I tell you what, Uman had his thought the other day. He said, maybe this Ohio thing, this train wreck, wasn't a government function. It was more a function of unions not doing their job because unions are pissed off over the train transportation infrastructure crap that Biden was trying to make them choke down. Well, could be, I guess. I mean, who are we to say? I mean, there was a big union thug. I think it was a Teamsters leader who was in Congress in front of a senator, got in a shouting match and an argument. Pretty interesting shit going on right now, folks. Interesting shit. I want to thank Michael Brown for the great 762 super chat donation. If Mike Brown comes on with a live question, I bet he's got a good one today. Interesting stuff, folks. Where do I go next? Oh, I've got a good one for you. Here we are at the end of the week. We've been talking about free speech an awful lot. Well, you've heard of that children's book series. I had kids, so this whole Goosebumps thing came out. It was like just a fun little story thing, right? Kids who wanted to read, some kind of crazy mystery shit. Well, the publisher, according to the author, R.L. Stine, R.L. Stine is claiming that the publisher made edits. They edited his books without his knowledge, without his permission. And he's saying that not only did he edit the books, but they put in woke crap. Woke goes broke, right? So how is, putting words in someone else's mouths, affecting someone else's, shall we say, intellectual property? I mean, shouldn't that be a crime? If I can copy illegally, unlawfully pirate someone's movie, why isn't changing someone's work without their permission? Why isn't that a fucking crime? Where's the FBI, right? I really think that R.L. Stine ought to sue the living shit out of these people. I'm so sick of these woke freaks. So sick of them. Unbelievable. And by the way, Mr. Waddell, Opie out there, Uman told me that the freeze-dried candy, is it freeze-dried candy, Uman? Made it, and he'll be shipping some down south to me here pretty quick. All right, where do we go? This week, President Trump is now considering Kari Lake, the gubernatorial candidate in Arizona, who somehow lost that election. A lot of Republicans lost elections when they shouldn't have even been close. Anyways, he's considering her as a potential 2024 VP candidate. What do you guys think of that? What do you think of Kari Lake as a candidate with Trump? Now, can you see somewhat of a difference between Kari Lake and Camel Toes Harris? Oh, it's incredible, folks. These people are just that bad. Literally that bad. I tell you. Okay, let's do this. Let's jump on over to one of your questions, comments, thoughts, see what's going on this special Thursday edition of the Friday Free-for-All. Now, it's a question. It's a statement from the Slim One. And he says, John, have you seen them mining for lithium? Doesn't look very green. Good for the environment to me? No. Folks, mining lithium is a fucking mess. It is. It is. What was that? What's that? There's this phrase that comes out of the Bible, I think. Everything in moderation. Everything. But what you want when you're mining materials is you want really highly concentrated stuff, right? And if that stuff you want is lithium, well, it's kind of toxic, kind of anti-environmentally friendly. Same with something like uranium. Like there's places in Canada where they're mining uranium where it's, even though it's not enriched, it's not refined, it's just naturally existing, and it's radioactive because there's so much of that shit. Well, it makes it cheaper to mine it, but yeah, it's a fucking mess. It's a toxic mess, but there's certain things we need as a civilization. So as we go more woke, as we go more ESG, as we go more environmental, everything that these jackasses need to stay in power, it starts looking like it's pretty damn destructive, right? Remember, I don't know if you've ever seen the pictures of the wildcat oil fields from Texas and then way back in Pennsylvania. They'd hit oil and shit would be shooting out of the oil derricks 50, 100 feet in the air and splashing all over the ground, thousands of gallons a minute of oil just spewing everywhere, and they're all happy because it was a gusher. That's what they called them, gushers. Looks pretty bad. Well, where'd all that oil go? Did they clean it all up and recycle it back in 1910? No, they didn't. Fuck no. What did they care? Right? They're like, it came from the earth. The earth is just fine. Well, mines are a lot of the same way. We need them Now, am I a proponent of just tear the earth up and make a fucking mess? Of course not. But these people, they want everyone on electric vehicles, whether you can afford a whole car or a hybrid electric or a electric bicycle or an electric scooter or a pair of electric fucking roller skates. They want everyone on electric. But then they say the batteries for these electric vehicles, lithium batteries, that's toxic to make those. Folks, the world has not even begun to electrify transportation percentage-wise, and they're running out of lithium. There's not enough. And there's not enough to replace even the batteries that have been created so far. Unbelievable. These people are that fucking stupid. Not to mention, if you electrify everything so you don't burn gas, well, now what are you going to burn? Coal? Ooh, no coal. We don't want to burn coal to run vehicles. Oh, how about natural gas? Oh, no, that's terrible stuff. Even though 20 years ago, it was like, natural gas, the clean, safe way to cook. These fucking people lie. They need to make money today. In 10 years, how are they going to make money? In 20 years, what are they going to say? The lie always changes to suit those in power. Right? So how do we power the world? Oh, nuclear energy. No, nuclear is dangerous. Well, wait a minute. The European Union said it's green. That's right, folks. Nuclear energy is now green. It's green. But lithium mines do not look very green. It's a mess. But don't worry. They'll try to do all the mining they can in third world nations so that, well, they get to choke on the toxic waste and we get to pretend like we're doing a great job in saving the earth with our little electric scooters and bicycles. Freaking jerk offs, I tell you. Anyways, great topic. Great topic. Now, speaking, it is the Friday Free for All special edition on Thursday, and I want to share with you again the new Friday Free for All introduction. Those of you on YouTube, it is Friday when you get to see this. Happy. All right, that was another big Mr. T production. Don't worry, though. YouTube will make sure as few people as possible can see quality satire, right? I don't want to call it reporting because this isn't the news, even though I'll try and make it look like a news studio. Yeah, here we are at Prepared Mind Studio, but that's right. We can't call ourselves news. We have to call ourselves satire. That way we can mention words that, well, I don't know, kind of like cerveza bug and Jim Jones juice. Boy, they really not want us to talk about them. It frosts them. They feel insulted and hurt and triggered. And speaking of that, Adam Klitzinger, big giant vagina man, rhino Republican. He shouldn't even be allowed to call it a rhino Republican. He's a socialist who ran as a Republican to get elected out of a Republican district. Anyways, he got totally triggered because Lauren Boebert, little Republican Representative Lauren Boebert, tweeted that real men aren't women. That's true. A real man isn't a woman. So Klitzinger, he wrote himself a little wimpy ass response, a whiny, snivelly, little bitchy response. And Boebert responded back to him and said, "Don't worry, Adam. I don't consider you a real man." And of course, she said, "Real men aren't women." So if he's not a real man, she just called him a woman. And what does a woman have? There you have it. Once again, he is a big vagina. These people on the left can't take it. They can't take it. And in Congress, they've lost the House of Representatives. The problem we have as Republicans is where the fuck is the impeachment? Where is it? Where is the impeachment at? let me cover this little story, and then we'll take one of your questions, comments, thoughts next. Get them in. It is, well, Thursday edition of Free for All Friday. But get this, right? Biden had another 9 boxes of secret documents discovered in Boston. 9 boxes, folks. Yet this special investigator is continuing to harass Trump supporters, Jack Smith and his Gestapo. When is he going to stop harassing Trump and Trump supporters and go after Biden? 9 more fucking boxes of secret documents. Where, McCarthy, where, Speaker of the House McCarthy, is the fucking impeachment? Where's the impeachment? High crimes and misdemeanors. What's that mean? Well, what is a high crime? What is a misdemeanor? Right? When you put the nation at risk as the president, that's an impeachable offense. 9 more boxes. That's 9 more impeachments. Okay, put them all together, all the boxes together, and go, is this enough? It's enough boxes to fill up a long bed pickup, probably a fucking steak bed. Just a huge, huge, huge truckload of fucking boxes full of secret documents that Biden has. Why does he have them? And why hasn't he been impeached for this? And all the other reasons to impeach him. Again, folks, I'm going to go after McCarthy, and I'll keep going after him. Do you love Speaker McCarthy? Is he doing a great fucking job? He's hiding behind Tucker Carlson's skirts. He gives the January 6th public video footage of the not really an insurrection. Gives that to Tucker Carlson for Tucker to release. Why isn't the media? Why isn't Chuck Schumer? Why isn't Turtles McConnell going after McCarthy for doing that? Instead, they all direct their venom at Tucker Carlson, who, for no other reason than he's Tucker Carlson, gets to control the distribution of them, which makes me rather suspicious. Right? What has Tucker done to get those? I'm glad he has them, folks, because he is releasing them. The video that is coming out is embarrassing. It shows Capitol Hill police opening and unlocking doors and allowing and directing people to come in. They're not violently assaulting anyone. They're just walking around like they're on a fucking tour. Unbelievable. Let's do this. Oh, good golly. I want you guys to hang on. Just hang on a second right there. I think I've got something good for you. Good golly. I'm telling you. No. I'm going to have to do this the hard way. I thought I was going to have another super duper intro, but it's not going to let it work. Sorry about that. Sorry for the tease. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Mr. T, sometimes he can get them to me really quick. Other times they're not. It's no more Mr. Nice John. Because I'm tired of being nice. I really am. I'm tired of these fucking people, folks. I'm tired of them screwing with you, violating your rights, making your life more difficult, and then getting paid for it. They get paid to screw with our lives. Fuck them. All right. Ooh-man, who do we have up next? Who's got something to say? Ooh-man's got something to say. He says, did you hear about the tourists in Mexico? Turns out all the headlines left out some key descriptive victimhood info about the victims and why they were really there. All had long rap sheets. And then the Mexican cartel turned in the 5 guys involved in the kidnapping with a handwritten apology letter saying they acted on their own and violated the code of conduct. Without rule of law lesson is in there. Somewhere it's in there. Well, number one, the race of the people was left out. It's interesting. Just a side note. You know, race to me doesn't really matter, but the mainstream media makes it a point. Makes it a point that it's white supremacy that's the problem, and then leaves out any other issues with any other people. Number two, the people that were down there. I remember reading a story just a couple of days ago that, well, these 4 people that were kidnapped were down in Mexico seeking medical assistance and medications. That's what they were doing there. Turns out they were probably down there doing a big fat fucking drug deal. They've got rap sheets. And by rap, we don't mean wrapping paper. We mean criminal history, criminal records. And the fact that the Mexican cartel turned in 5 people with a handwritten apology letter is hilarious. It's hilarious. Now, I do believe, folks, that criminals have a code of conduct. They do. To say that there is no honor amongst thieves, right? They have a code. For example, people like Jeffrey Epstein, Bill Gates, Bill Clinton, and other Epstein Island visitors, they don't go to jail, normal jail, and do very well. Prisoners of all crimes, right? Whether it's murder or bank robbery, assault, drug dealing, it doesn't matter. If they catch a child molester in the general population at a prison, they get the ever-loving shit beat out of them, and they're lucky to get out of there with their life. And that's just day one. That's just day one. Now, there is a code of conduct there. I don't know what code they violated. You know what my guess was? The moment I read about these 5 people that were basically, I think, sat down, handcuffed, and they should have stapled the fucking paper to their foreheads. I bet they weren't even from their own gang. I bet they were from the other person's cartel and were captured. It wouldn't surprise me a bit. Like you can trust a Mexican drug cartel to turn in their own 5 guys and go, Juan, 2, Jose and Jose and Manuel, right? Those were the bad guys. They violated our code of conduct by committing the heinous crime of kidnapping some worthless American drug dealers. Not buying it. I'm not buying on any of this shit. What did you guys think of this morning's video about national divorce, preventing bloodshed? What do you guys think of that? Right? What if the states all said, you know what, we're going to just sit down and we're going to put it to the people and everyone votes? Did that occur to anybody that that's a good idea? It's interesting, folks. It's interesting what's going on out there. And I want to go with this one, and then I'll get back to another one of your topics here. In New Mexico, folks, the government there wants to disband, disarm, disintegrate private border patrol. That is to say, people, the citizens of America, who gather together to protect their country, their state, their county, their cities, their families from illegal immigrants. And they're calling them paramilitary, private paramilitary. No, they're private Americans. They're free Americans. And part of the First Amendment, folks, is the right of free association, to join with and gather with anyone you wish. That's what being free is all about. Being able to be with whoever you want, wherever you want, whenever you want. First Amendment. And to act as a free agent, act on your own behalf. And as long as you're not engaged in illegal activity, as in criminal activity, that others are being harmed. That's what criminal activity is, folks, when others are harmed or property is damaged. Right? That's a problem. But the state of New Mexico wants to take that away, tell you who you can and can't be with where you can and can't be, and what you can and can't do. They can decide if something all of a sudden is illegal. Protecting your state from an invasion is now illegal. Folks, they just don't care. They're knowingly, willfully, intentionally violating the First Amendment in every form and fashion and way they can. Can you tell BLM to stop rioting, shutting down streets, shutting down freeways, stop throwing bottles at cops, shooting cops in the eyes with dangerous, harmful, destructive lasers, right? Throwing flaming objects, including explosive fireworks at law enforcement officers? That's fine. You're allowed to freely associate like that all fucking day long. But how dare you peacefully go out and walk the border with other Americans, not committing any illegal acts in an effort to protect your country? Not going to allow it. I'm going to tell you, folks, the more the left pushes, the more they prove, right, that they are a bunch of communist pieces of anti-American shit. And the more rules they pass, the more they push you into the corner as a criminal. Meanwhile, as they pushed you into the corner and they're tapping you in the chest saying your rights make you a criminal, behind them you have some left-wing scumbag, drag queen, LGBTQ person sexually assaulting children, and they think it's fucking cute. They think it's fucking cute. Unbelievable. All right, man. Where are we going next? What do you got? We got David Clinton. He said, will Mitch be wearing a boot when he gets out? Well, I wish he had a boot in his ass that someone placed there for him. This is an interesting question. I would like you to respond very quickly, if you can, to Uman. David Clinton, I want your answer, and then Uman will put it up on the board. Why would Mitch be wearing a boot? Why would Mitch be wearing a boot when he gets out? Now, folks, what David means by boot is, I think he means an arrest boot, an ankle collar. I think that's what we're asking about here. Right? A tracking device, wearing a boot. Is that what we're up to? Anyways, David, get your answer to that. I'm really curious. Do you mean that, or where he broke his foot? You know, I think the other one is a little more fun to answer. Right, Mitch McConnell hospitalized after a fall at a former Trump hotel in D.C. That was the headline. All right. Oh, a boot to cover up the ankle bracelet. There it is. There it is, wearing a boot. Oh, I broke my ankle, twisted it, and so now I have to wear this boot. So yeah, once again, why is he wearing not so much the boot as much as the ankle bracelet, the GPS tracking device? Why would Mitch be wearing one, David? Where would I start? Treason? I wish it was treason. I wish that some of these fuckers, any of them, they could be Republicans, they could be Democrats, they could be independents, they could be avowed communists in the government that have committed crimes and they're now being held responsible, accountable. I would love that. Anyone who's a criminal in the government, I want them arrested. Treason, yeah. I tell you, is that why Mitch McConnell and Senator Schumer are such good buddies? Could it be that they're involved in treasonous activity? It's possible. I sure would like to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. Wow. Marjorie Taylor Greene and some other House Republicans are going to did visit today, January 6 prisoners in jail. Visit? They're going to go visit them after, 2 fucking years plus? They're going to go visit them? How about crash the gates? How about free the prisoners? How about all of fucking Congress go there? The video that Pelosi withheld, all of the videos that Pelosi withheld have totally exonerated them of insurrection. The nonviolent white people, the nonviolent colored people, the nonviolent Americans who walked into Congress while police escorted them, opened doors for them, unlocked doors for them, led the way, stood and posed with these so-called insurrectionists, posed with them, took selfies with them. It's not the violent insurrection. And fucking Schumer, the pile of shit he is calling it the big lie. Unfucking believable, folks. Marjorie Taylor Greene, give me a fucking break. You shouldn't go visit them. You should be screaming up and down, talking about and naming every right that was violated by the police, by Pelosi, by the prison system there that is withholding them decent food, medical care, psychological care, their legal representation, allowing guards to abuse them physically. Folks, there are now blind prisoners who've had their fucking vision destroyed by being beaten. All the psychological trauma. Folks, you don't know what trauma is until it's happened to you. And then you know when you understand. These people are saying they're being psychologically battered, held in solitary confinement, a type of confinement that is considered by the United Nations to be a war crime. Oh, you want to talk back? You want to demand your rights while in prison, while you're going to solitary confinement? Fuck these people. Literally. Every last one of them. Now, again, people like anyone in government, anyone in media that wants to stand up and do the right thing, I'll commend them on it. And if they do something stupid, I'm going to criticize them. President Trump, when speaking about the January 6th committee members like Adam Kuntsinger and Miss Piggy, that's right, remember her? Liz Cheney, Miss Piggy. They were January 6th committee members. And they hid, as well as the other January 6th committee members in the Democrat Party, they hid video that would exonerate. That is to say, show that the January 6th prisoners didn't do anything wrong. He says, this is what Trump says of those January 6th government committee members, that they should be tried for fraud and treason. Folks, they should. It was a criminal conspiracy for them to hide the video, for them to arrest everyone on January 6th. It is a criminal conspiracy what was done by having agents provocateur in the crowd and the police ready to fire upon them to make it look like a riot and then call it an insurrection. It's a criminal conspiracy to do that and then to use the media. The media has engaged in this criminal conspiracy to use public opinion to condemn and convict the January 6th protesters who were invited into the Capitol, who posed with police officers to take pictures, who nonviolently walked on a tour through the Capitol. It's a criminal conspiracy to call that a crime and then hold these people for over 2 fucking years in jail. To sentence them, to prosecute, convict, and sentence people for doing nothing more than walking on public property. Fuck Congress, fuck DC, fuck the police up there. It's a complete criminal conspiracy, and everyone knows it. Everybody knows it. Unbelievable. All right, before I blow a fucking blood vessel. Ooh, man, what do we have next, man? Who is up? And it is the Slim One. on this special Thursday edition of the Free for All Friday. He says, I got another question. Do you think the Paris Climate Accord Treaty is an agreement between the nations as to how to control the weather? How to answer this? No, I really don't think it's an agreement to control the weather. I think it's an agreement to control the people. They're using the weather as an excuse. Now, they may control the weather in order to make things look extreme so that they can use their accord, their climate treaty, to control the people. See, that's what they need, is to control us. They want to control us, contain us, and extract from us by squeezing us all the tax money they can. So if they want to contain people, they can control them by raising taxes on fuel and prices on fuel so that they're so high that people can't travel. So they control what is released into the environment on the grounds that it's bad for the environment to allow it. So people can't travel anywhere. People are stuck. People are no longer able to enjoy vacations where only the super rich could once go. They really don't like that, folks. They don't like you being able to get on a plane and fly away. They don't like you being able to do what you want. They don't like you being able to afford food. They want you to eat bugs. Don't forget bugs. Yeast slime, farts and yeast crap, yeast excrement. That's what they want you to eat and call it food. And the food they give you, well, it better have some GMO crap in there or some mRNA crap in there. That's right. They're going to start injecting chickens. If Pfizer's company has a say in it, you'll be getting Pfizer chicken. Hey, this six-legged chicken is brought to you by Pfizer. You like drumsticks, hot wings? You want your buffalo wings? Get the Pfizer six-legged chicken at the restaurant. Yeah, that's a great fucking idea. Thanks, Pfizer. I love six-legged chickens. How come it has the head of a snake? Since when does a chicken have the head of a snake? Well, ever since we GMO'd the fuck out of that chicken with our Pfizer Jim Jones juice. Oh, I tell you. It just doesn't get any better than that. Thank you, Slim One. All right, Uman, let's throw up another one. Let's get crazy here. And Uman says, oh, lots of SHTF news or lessons in the news. This is train wrecks, fires, floods, record snowfall, etc. Great reason to be prepared for anything. And that really is a great statement, Uman. Thank you so much. It is a great reason to be prepared for anything because typically, well, record snowfall or snowfall is no emergency. Rain, no emergency. Dry weather is not an emergency. It becomes SHTF, though, when it is record snowfall and record amounts of rain causing flooding and record dryness causing massive fires, not to mention massive stupidity causing massive fucking train wrecks. More train wrecks. Now, again, folks, as things stand, we have an average of 3 train derailments a day. But now we're hearing about it because the train derailments we're getting are big, nasty. So Uman continues, not always going to be the end of the world as we know it event that you need to be ready for. That's right. Getting prepared is not always about end of the world events. It's about dealing with local disasters, natural disasters, man-made idiots. I mean, I could be 5 miles from home and some idiot could cause a problem on the road, and that becomes a shit hits the fan situation for me. A couple people get pissed off in a car accident, start shooting at each other. Where does it go from there? Could it get really bad? Could it get worse? You just never know. Thank you, Uman. I really appreciate it. Anyways, Uman says everyone should be running those scenarios through their heads and planning for those things to happen around them. You could get stuck on the side of the road, folks, in a bad neighborhood. You can get stuck on the other side of a bridge and not be able to get home. How are you going to deal with everything? We can have, folks, a serious banking issue, a banking crisis, or a cyber attack on the internet. And now you don't have any money for 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days. I mean, you would normally say, hey, you don't have access to your credit card for 5 days or 7 days. That's no big deal. Not the way today works, folks, because your bank account is connected to your debit card, which is just like a credit card, and you can't use it. You can't use it because the system's down. Most people have 3 days of food in their fridge, their cupboards, or less. What happens when they get to day 3 and they start running out of food? Where are they going to get the food? They can't fill their car up with gas because the banking system's down. Folks, without money, or I should say currency, or electronic currency, the credit card, debit card, EBT card, how the fuck are people going to take care of business? I think that's a fair question. I really do. I think that's a very fair question. I tell you. Let's do this, right? It is being claimed that Dr. Fauci, paging Dr. Fauci, yeah. Seems like he may be caught in a bribery payoff scheme. Apparently, he has lied repeatedly about the origins of cerveza bug. That while the Centers for Disease Control chairman, Dr. Redfield, he was the head, folks, of the CDC during cerveza bug lockdown. It seems that Dr. Fauci did not let him in on what was happening, that there was an attempt to hide the origin of it. And during this period of time, Fauci was handing out government grants to physicians and doctors around the country so that they could testify the same way he was. When is Fauci going to be arrested? Who the fuck can look into what this little turd has done? I don't care if it's arrest him for lying to Congress, or arrest him because his lies have exposed him as being public enemy number 1 in America and probably around the world. It's just unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. It is a free-for-all Friday, even though it's only Thursday, folks. I feel like I put in at least 10 days in this 4-day week so far. The Washington Post, well, I complain about, all this shit going on. The Washington Post is complaining that conservatives are preventing future pandemic lockdowns from happening. What? By not getting sick, we're preventing future pandemic lockdowns? Is that how we're doing it? How are we preventing it? It's incredible, right? They want to say that you are preventing future pandemic lockdown. That sounds like it would be a good thing, right? Because if there's no pandemic, then there's no need to lock down. So by, preventing pandemics, you're being healthy. It's unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. This is what they actually said, folks. That we engage in populist rejection of pandemic measures. And so America's health institutions are defanged and unprepared for a subsequent pandemic. No, they can be prepared all the fuck they want. But as far as the public health institution, they shouldn't have any fangs. Since when should doctors have fangs they can fucking bite us with? Since when should hospitals have fangs where they can control us and damage us and force us to do anything? And then this fucking person who wrote this shit, this absolute shit of an article, Lauren Weber and Joel Achenbach, fucking idiots extraordinaire. This is what they complain. Listen to this, quote, not even the president can force federal agencies to issue Jim Jones juice or testing mandates to thwart its march, the march of a pandemic. That's right. Not even the president is powerful enough to tell me to do anything. That's right. Fuck you, Mr. President. Not even him. No government agency can get anywhere near me and force me to take their shit or even take a test. Fuck you, people. That's right. But Lauren Weber, Joel Achenbach, and all these leftist scumbags, they want that power, folks. They want that. And so they're blaming you that because you've stood up for your rights, because you've gotten in their faces, because you have prepped to action, you've called, written, texted. Everything you do has been awesome in telling them what you think. Right? You could have used a carrier pigeon. Imagine the effect that would have. Conservative uses animal as slave to deliver anti-authoritarian message to Washington. This must be stopped. This free speech using pigeon power must be stopped. These fucking people are out of their minds, folks. But what was probably most interesting was they didn't just say conservatives. They actually wrote conservatives and libertarians. What is a libertarian, folks? It's someone who wants to be left the fuck alone. I'm a libertarian. You could also say I'm a conservative. You could call me a Republican if you wish. But I'm a libertarian. Leave me the fuck alone. Libertarians believe in their own rights, their liberties. Wow. Just wow. What a week. Folks, what a week. Before I go, before I leave, because it is a strange week, because I'm feeling happy that I get to go see my son Luke tomorrow. And folks, remember this, right? I have a Arizona concealed weapons permit, which allows me to carry in like 39 fucking states. Plus, I have a concealed weapons permit for the state in which I reside. I'm going to visit Georgia. You can probably assume that I'll be carrying a concealed weapon. Concealed. I don't want to get in any trouble. I don't want anyone to fuck with me. I want to be left alone. I'll probably get in the very large green tank and be protected. F-350 Power Stroke diesel. Get the fuck out of my way, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't you like to drive around in one of those, burning all of that carbon diesel fuel? It's just got, I know it drives lefties nuts. How dare you drive around in that? How dare you? Fucking idiots. Here we go. I'm going to finish up. I'm going to clean up today. The House has passed a bill to prohibit federal officials, government bureaucrats from pressuring social media to censor content. That's a great bill to pass in the House. It also has to pass in the Senate and then get past Joe Biden. It's not going to fucking happen. It's going to die. It's going to die in committee. Sorry to say that, folks. I know the Republicans in the House are trying, despite Shill McCarthy's bullshit. And Joe Biden is claiming, we brought down inflation 7 months in a row. We're going to whip it. You know, that's why I put on the, gas is up, food is up, rent is up. Fuck you, Biden, idiot. And this did come up, and I didn't cover it, but some idiots around the world, and now they have Colin Kaepernick has gone out and lashed out and attacked white people for adopting kids. Oh, it was that Native American dumb broad from somewhere up by Minnesota that was pissed off that whites are white saviors and they're adopting Native kids. Yeah. But stupid ass Kaepernick, big fuzzy headed butt snarf, right? Says that they're perpetuating racism. White adoptive parents are perpetuating racism. Colin Kaepernick. Racism, whiteness. What's this guy's problem? Why does he hate himself so much? Because I know Colin Kaepernick is not 100% African American. He is a mix of many different races and peoples. Yet he's chosen one that allows him to play the fucking victim. What a dickhead. Okay, now, this is also important. And so I am not going to talk about it. I'm funny that way. Yeah, let's do that. Folks, I'm just going to call it quits. I'm fucking exhausted. I'm tired of these idiots. Are you prepared? Are you ready? Are you prepared? No more Mr. Nice John. And thank you, Tim, for developing that. I've got to get it saved on the computer. I'm going to go pack my bags. And I'm going to head out because tomorrow I need to be in Georgia. And it's a long fucking ways away to get there. So I'm going to get there. I always do. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police, the Mounties always get their man. I always get the mission accomplished. I want you to get the mission accomplished as well. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine. Pew, pew, self-defense. Get prepared and prep to action. I love you all. I want to thank you all for supporting me, for using your fucking heads, for thinking about stuff, right? And not just ignoring the facts, not just accepting what you're being told, but thinking, actually thinking. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave you once again with the new Friday free-for-all intro, and we're going to make it the outro. Thank you again, Mr. T.